Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I bring to you my first Pokemon raid video. If you like this kind of content, please comment down below. Tell me what you think. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is a guide for the newer player that wants to get into TERA raids. And this week, coming Friday, is going to be the Hisuian Decidueye, which is going to be not the hardest, but it's going to be kind of tricky on how to beat him. So, let's get into it, guys. So when it comes down to Decidueye has a lot of moves and a lot of things to allow it to be able to do a lot of things to you. So I just basically broke down a list of things that Decidueye, like his move set, his move setups, and his Terra typing, so that way you know. Held item, we're not really sure whether if it has a held item or not. But it's gonna have the hidden ability Scrappy, and I'm gonna explain to you why you have to be warned of that ability. So let's get into the attacks. So for the attacking moves, it's going to have triple arrows or possible triple arrows. It can possibly have Leaf Blade. It can possibly have Brave Bird, Knockoff, or Brick Break. And the triple arrows, I definitely see it more than the Brick Break because that is like its signature move. Plus, it's a really good stab move where it hits. It basically can hit a crit or lower your defense. And then you have Leaf Blade, for coverage, which is a grass type, so it's going to have a coverage so that way if you throw out a water type, it basically can counter it. Brave Bird, so vice versa, so it can counter it like any other grass types that have come across, bug types, anything like that. Knockoff, which is really good coverage for psychics, and also it knocks off your item, so I believe it does knock off your item. If I'm not mistaken, no, actually it doesn't knock off your item, but it is a good coverage move. And then has Brick Break. Brick Break is really good because it can break, like, let's say you put up Light Screen or Reflects, it will break those so that way it doesn't matter anymore. Now, for its setup moves, it can have Haze, it can have Sword Dance, Rain Dance, Tailwind, and Defog. And I can see it having, like, Swords Dance so that way it can get a boost in its attack. And then I can see it also possibly having Rain Dance, and this is just a maybe for just the coverage to stop fire types from being able to be too potent towards it to basically knock down some of the fire damage a little bit. Tailwind, maybe to speed itself up, and then Defog is basically the same way as Brick Break, but without the attacking. Defog basically gets rid of your light screens, your reflects, and the same thing with Haze. Haze gets rid of everything. So it gets rid of your screens, it gets rid of your setups. So if you already put like 4 or 3 nasty plots in, it gets rid of that completely. And now you have to start from scratch. So it allows it to cover itself very well. So we're going to get into what its weaknesses and how we can counter it. So it's weak against fire types, poison types, and then it has a double multiplier to flying types. So it's very weak to flying types because it's a grass and it's a fighting type. So it has 4 times the weakness. It's weak to ice and fairy types as well. So when it comes down to its hidden ability is Scrappy, which allows it to be able to hit ghost type Pokemon with normal moves and fighting type moves. And it also works against Intimidate. So if you bring out a Gyarados and you have Intimidate, it's not dropping its stats, it's keeping its stats. Leads us up to the bad typing and matchups that you don't want to run against Decidueye. So it will be Ghost, Ice, Rock, Steel, and Fighting. Because Decidueye has so many cover moves for this, it'll be able to almost knock these out very easily without trying. And you don't want to bring those to the Terra battle. You want to have something more coverage and something more resistant to it. Which brings us to our first choice of Pokemon, which would be a Galarian Weasling. And the reason why is because it's a fairy poison type or a poison fairy type, and it has a very good resistant typing compared to Decidueye. It's resistant to grass, it's resistant to dark, fairy, flying, bug. And flying type moves are basically like a normal hit to it. And the move setup that we have here is Clear Smog, Acid Spray, Stockpile, and Sludge Bomb. Yes, they're all poison type moves, but they allow you to basically clear out exactly what you need to clear out and basically also be very supportive to your allies as well. Which brings us to the item that we want to hold onto Galorian Weasling. We want to have Black Sludge so we're constantly getting our HP back after we're done attacking. And then the nature we want to set up for Galorian Weasling will be in Modest Nature. And then our EV stats will be in HP 252, in defense 4, which really doesn't matter, and then our special attack is 252 as well. And this basically allows us to be tanky and do damage at the same time. Which brings us to our next candidate, which would be Dragalge, and this is a poison dragon type, and it has a good amount of resistance, especially to grass types. It's 2 times resistant to grass type Pokemon. It's resistant to fighting, poison, electric, fire, water, and bug types, which allows it to be somewhat tanky, and it has high special defense. It has decent amount of special attack and HP on it. Allows you to do a lot of setup and a lot of stuff to Decidueye. Let's get into it. So for Dragalge, the moveset that you're going to want to have is Haze, Mud Slap, Acid Spray, and Sludge Bomb, with the hell item being leftovers. And then our nature is going to be modest. EV stat values is going to be 240 in HP, 12 in defense, and special attack is 252. Because of how the way Dragalge is a lot very resistant to a lot of things. So Decidueye don't have any super effective moves that will target Dragalge. Dragalge will be able to sit there a little bit comfortable, but be a pest to Decidueye by stopping it from boosting its stats. Alright guys, if you like this kind of content, please comment down below. I am going to do a follow-up video on Friday for this. That way we can basically update the guide, add a couple of more pointers in there, add a couple of other Pokemon that might actually work in there based off of what we see and what we go against and how we battle it. And these builds that I came up with are more team based than anything else, especially when it comes down to the Galorian Weasling. It allows you to play off of your allies very well and allows you to do a lot of things. So if you like this kind of content, please comment down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.